Are you getting ready to take the FTCE Exceptional Student Education exam? That's exam code 061. I'm Terriana, an ESC specialist and test prep expert with Study.com, and today I'll be reviewing the topic Knowledge of Foundations of Exceptional Student Education. Let's begin. Problem number 1. A student with behavioral issues has been placed in a special education classroom for the entirety of their school day, even if the student tends to do better academically and behaviorally in regular education classrooms in the morning. The student prefers having regular education classes in the morning with special education classes in the afternoon. School officials must consider A. Allowing the student an appeal to the placement with or without parental support. B. Developing a unique behavioral assessment specific to the student to determine the accuracy of the placement. C. Placing the student in regular education classrooms in the morning to ensure the student learns within the least restrictive environment. Or D. Negotiating with the student and emphasizing that within regular education classes, the student's support will be limited. We can eliminate answer choice A. The student cannot do anything without their parental support. We can also eliminate answer choice D because it cannot be assumed that the student will not be supported within a regular classroom. Remember, school officials have various legal duties concerning recognition and the placement of students with disabilities. Students should be placed in their least restrictive environment, or LRE. If the student succeeds in morning regular education classes without issues, then a placement within the special education classroom throughout the day seems to be more restrictive. Therefore, the best answer choice is C. Placing the student in regular education classrooms in the morning to ensure the student learns within the least restrictive environment. Problem number 2. Which of the following response to intervention strategies would occur in the first tier of RTI? A. Specialist intervention. B. One-on-one intensive instruction. C. Team collaboration. Or D. Establishing benchmarks. Remember, RTI is a 3-tiered approach that helps teachers identify which students need extra support and offers a plan to provide that support. Tier 1 includes all students. It is the broadest level and includes generalized screenings and interventions. We can eliminate answer choices A, B, and C because they are not general. We need more information in order to reach these strategies. The answer is D. Tier 1 helps to establish benchmarks. Problem number 3. Per the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, parents with students with disabilities have the right to due process, which allows them to A. Choose academic programs and the teachers who will be teaching their children. B. Petition the state for additional outside assistance for their children. C. Negotiate the curriculum their children will be taught and choose if their children will partake in annual standardized testing. Or D. Challenge details of the student's individualized education plan, or IEP, or the school if accommodations or modifications are not appropriate or met. Remember, IDEA, which was established in 2004, grants students with disabilities free and equal access to education. Evaluation and development of an IEP with parental support and student input are important components. In other words, during the IEP process, parental support is advised. However, parents cannot make decisions such as choosing academic programs and choosing teachers, or negotiating the curriculum that their students will be taught. Under IDEA, students have the ability to question components of the IEP or school's ability to service their children. In other words, parents have the ability to challenge the details of their students' IEP or the school if accommodations or modifications are not appropriate or met. Here is our final problem. Problem number 4. Which of the following is true of the Educational Plan Committee? A. The committee is required to meet once a month to ensure students' needs are met. B. An Educational Plan Committee is established school-wide every 5 years. C. The people required to be involved in the committee vary state by state. Or D. The committee is tasked with developing annual standardized assessments given to special needs students. Because the question asks us which of the following is true, we can begin to eliminate the ones that are false. For example, answer choice A says that the committee is required to meet once a month. However, the committee is required to meet once a year. Answer choice D speaks of the committee meeting annually. However, it is false because the team is not tasked with developing the standardized assessments for special needs students. Lastly, answer choice B is false because the committee is not established every 5 years. In fact, the committee is established based on state law. Therefore, we can conclude that C is the correct answer. The people required to be involved in the committee vary state by state. If you're looking for more ways to study, check out our other videos or make your way over to study.com. As a study.com member, you'll receive access to hundreds of problems like the ones that I walked through today, plus targeted instruction to help you maximize your score on test day. We want to hear from you. Please like and subscribe. And if there's any other ways that we can help you, please let us know in the comments. Good luck!